This week's declaration is, I am God's messenger. There you are, flying through the sky, winged messenger, wings on your heels, carrying the most important news available to man, the saving news of Jesus Christ. That is what we all need more than anything else. It is the only thing that can save us. And this news is so important that it's more important than how we feel. It's more important than whether we feel like telling somebody about Jesus or whether we feel tired or shy or any of those things. It is not about us. It is about the importance of this message and about the importance of the one who sends us to deliver the message. And I've been freshly convicted of Paul's charge to Timothy. In 2 Timothy, which says, be ready in and out of season to preach the gospel. This is what we need to get away from whether it feels comfortable to our flesh or we feel equipped, and just to deliver the message. It's an awesome evangelist called Ben Fitzgerald, and apparently he says it's like doing a poo. You know, you just go to the loo as part of your day and then you get back on with your normal day. It's normal, it's part of. And so it should be with reaching out to people with the gospel, telling them about Jesus. It's just part of your day and you carry on. It doesn't need to be confined to just a big outreach or an organized event. It should be in your going. Like Jesus, it was in his going that he introduced people to the kingdom of God. And recently, Dom and I have had a couple of situations where things seem to have gone wrong, but have been opportunities for the gospel. And that has really, again, caught my awareness to this being ready in and out of season. Last week, we were at an event and we had to take all the rubbish away from the event. So we had 4 days worth of stinking rubbish from the heat wave that we needed to get rid of. And surely you think that'd be very easy. Take it to a local skip. We tried the local skip. That one didn't take it. Dom and someone who was helping him tried 5 more skips in the space of being in Norfolk all the way back down to Dorset. That's 4.5 hour drive, where you had just these bags, about 15 bags of stinking rubbish in the back that we just couldn't get rid of. So we got home, the night passed, we woke up the next morning. Again, we still had to get rid of these bags of rubbish. By this time, maggots were actually coming out of the rubbish and crawling over the van, which we spent so long cleaning out, ready for the summer. So it just looked like it just kept getting worse. It was a horrendous situation. Called up the skip locally and they said it was fine to come, came, and then they said, no, our vehicle wasn't allowed in. It needed to be a smaller vehicle to get into the skip. So Dom was nearly wanting to lose his mind and had to come home and transfer all the bags into another car in order to take them. By this point, the bags were all splitting. I should have said yesterday as well, the guy who drove with the rubbish all the way from Norfolk to Dorset had it in a tiny car, a little 5-seater car, and he was in that car surrounded by these bags of stinking rubbish in a heat wave. I mean, horrendous. It's like gross. You can understand why Jesus refers to hell as Gehenna, which was meant a rubbish dump, because it honestly was so stinky. But the good news, finally, we were received into the dump and were able to get rid of the rubbish. And Dom had the opportunity in the middle of the dump to get up and preach the gospel to everyone there who was also getting rid of their rubbish, and tell them the analogy of how Jesus takes our rubbish. So that was an amazing opportunity. And I just hope and believe that there was one person there, at least one person, who was ready to receive the message and who we'll see in heaven. And they'll go, thank you so much for preaching in that rubbish dump. That day transformed my life. Like, that would make it all worth it. And maybe that's why we couldn't even get into any of the other dumps. The Lord was like, no, guys, I need you to get to the Dorset dump because there's someone who needs to hear. We had another one where our car kept breaking down and causing troubles. It was seen by about 5 mechanics, none of whom could fix it. Finally, we found this mechanic who just took us under his wing and persevered with the car until it was fixed. Knew what we did with the truck, with preaching and the gospel, and wanted to get behind that. He'd had faith growing up, or kind of from South Africa, and had that background of faith and really respected what we were doing. And so did all this work on the car for free and has continued to look after us and the car and has since come back to the Lord and rededicated his heart and his life to Jesus and is praying again. And we've got a beautiful relationship forming with him, which again, I wouldn't change that for the world. But honestly, multiple times we're thinking, do we try and sell this car? Do we scrap it? It is just sucking up more and more and more money trying to get fixed. Yet I wonder whether the Lord was just allowing even these problems to continue because he knew where it was going to end, and he really wanted us to meet this mechanic who was ready for the gospel and ready to return to him, which in the fullness of time is worth it, is worth every other mechanic bill that didn't work, is worth every bit of wasted time. So I share those stories with you because that is what has awoken me recently to the importance of being ready in and out of season to bring the gospel, because we never know what opportunities the Lord is lining us up with. And often it's exactly when things seem to be going wrong that an opportunity might be arising, when all the doors you're trying to open seem to be closed. You're like, God, where are you? Why aren't you helping me? Why is this all going wrong? And he says, just trust me. I'm doing something bigger and I'm doing something better. And we can miss that if we allow ourselves to get into frustration and anger or resentment, or, to lose it. But if we can keep that softness in our spirit, if we can keep trusting God, say, God, I don't understand, but I choose to trust you. I don't know what's going on here. I'm frustrated. I'm fed up. I'm tired. But I just give you this situation. And please, if there's something bigger that you're doing in this situation, help me to trust you and to go with it. Open my eyes and my ears to what you're doing. And that's an awesome place to posture our hearts, because it opens us up to see his miraculous breakout in our daily life, which is what he wants to do in your coming and your going. You are God's messenger. If you know the Lord and you've experienced salvation, you are holding the most precious news available to man. And I charge you, as Paul charged Timothy, be ready in and out of season to share that news with the person in front of you, whoever it may be. They need it, even if they look like they don't. They do, and you are the best person to bring it to them today. Bless you.